Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're jumping right into Fair Oaks, California. Let's talk about it. Welcome back everybody. As always, please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because I've got videos coming out every week just for you, Sacktown. Anybody that's thinking about moving to Sac, hey, we're here for you. Let me know in the comment section if there's a certain video that you want because we'd love to make sure that we get the content that you guys are looking for. Other than that, if you want to dive a little bit deeper, you can always set up a 15-minute Zoom call right above. All right, let's get into Orangevale, California. First of all, Orangevale, California, average price point right now is right about $510,000. Now, there's a lot of movement in that number, okay? $510,000 is just your average price point, but there's properties or there's houses that we can find all the way down to the 300s, all the way into say million and a half, depending on where we're looking. Orangevale, for the most part, is kind of squished in between Citrus Heights, Fair Oaks, and Folsom. So it's just kind of surrounded by all angles. So getting that freeway access, it's not the most convenient, but it's not too bad. You've got the 80 and you've got the 50 on both sides of you. So you can hit the freeway pretty quickly. It's gonna take a minute to get to either side of those. So if you're using it as a commute into say Sacramento, I would almost tell you, go a little bit farther down, hit Fair Oaks. In reality, Fair Oaks and Orangevale really blend well together. Most of my clients that we're bringing out here, if they like what they see in Orangevale, but they do have to commute, we'll usually take them into Fair Oaks. That being said though, there's something kind of weird going on or strange going on with Orangevale. Right now, most of Sacramento is growing. Even with the market that's changed a little bit, we're seeing a lot of growth. For the most part though, Orangevale is actually staying pretty steady, even a little bit of a decrease depending on where you look. I think one of the big factors here though is because we have a lot of older people living in Orangevale, and that is starting to change. It's starting to become where a lot of the other markets have cooled off a little bit. I see Orangevale as one of those places where it's actually staying pretty steady. It's actually, I think, getting a little bit more popular. I think one of the big reasons why too was during the pandemic or just for the most part, you had a lot of people coming from the Bay Area. Originally they wanted more area to move. They wanted bigger houses. They wanted to get away from their town or condos that they were living in over there. And when they first came out here, the thing to do was really kind of get into that new build, right? Well, because of places like Folsom, even take Roseville, Rockland, Lincoln, all those areas where people were kind of just moving to as quickly as they possibly could to kind of keep up with the demand and keep prices lower, you saw the houses either get a little bit smaller, you saw lot sizes get smaller in those areas. And I think a lot of people, now that the market has kind of changed or shifted a little bit, they're going like, wait a minute, we're moving out here, right? Bay Area people are saying we're moving out here because we want a little bit more land. So Orangevale is one of those areas where you can really get one of those bigger houses. A lot of the houses that we show out here are at that 2,200 square foot plus. A lot of the properties out here have been remodeled, or somebody can buy an older house that still needs some updating, really update that house to what they want. You're gonna get a little bit more of a backyard with that. You know, you've actually got enough room to not only have a pool, but actually have an area to even entertain. Now, with that, as well as what we're seeing is there are also pockets where people are even taking down the older houses that are smaller and completely rebuilding because of how large these lots are. We just had a client last year that was one of their main goals is, hey, just find me the largest lot you possibly could, smallest house on it that needed some work that we can just tear down, rebuild, and they're currently doing that right now, and they're building a house at about 3,500 square foot. And again, they've got plenty of room to move even once they're done doing this. Another thing that people really enjoy is if you're you're kind of looking at that lower half of Folsom and maybe moving into there, but you really don't want to play that price tag that Folsom's at, you can jump down into Orangevale, and you're looking at somewhere between 100 to 150 difference in what you can actually get in the Orangevale area, with still all the conveniences that, say, Folsom or Fair Oaks has. So if you want shopping, you jump over to Roseville, or you jump over to Folsom. If you're looking for your tech jobs, if you're looking for government jobs, Sacramento's right there. So it's really a convenient area to be at. Now, like I was saying, these are older homes. So most of the houses really were built in 1970 all the way to about 1990. And they've had some updating done. But there are pockets, there's not a lot, but there are some pockets out there where you've got more private builders that are building these either semi-custom or custom homes. They're building out cul-de-sacs, they're building out small neighborhoods. These are not our big builders like Lennar or any of those big guys. These are just smaller local guys building these beautiful custom or semi-custom homes, and you're gonna probably get a total of maybe somewhere between 5 to max maybe 20 homes. They're in these little pockets and little corners, which is really cool. Orangevale, for the most part, like I said, is pretty centrally located to go out and do anything. But if you're into food, Orangevale has a lot of places to go. Mom and pop shops, there's some chain restaurants, but for the most part, you're gonna see mom and pop shops and a ton of coffee shops. So if you're looking for that quaint little area to go, this might be one of those places that you like. The pace in Orangevale is always just a little bit slower, but again, if you want that nightlife, if you want to jump into a different area, you're just a few minutes away. Other than that, again, where we're over on that 50 side, right? So there's always Lake Natoma. With that, you've got fishing, you've got biking. I feel like biking in Orangevale is becoming bigger and a bigger thing every single year. And then of course, you've got with the lake runs down into the river. So you've got a lot of access to paddle boarding and rafting. So plenty of outdoor things to do, easy access or decent access to the freeway. So if you do want to jump up to Tahoe, you can get up there pretty quick. But one of the things I will say that you are gonna see out there is you will have some spreads on these lands. So you will see actually horses out there. You'll see people with chicken coops out there with different types of animals, goats, sheep, stuff like that. Because again, that is kind of what the area likes. Also what the zoning is for a lot of these properties. So don't be confused if you go down the street and all of a sudden you see somebody has maybe a little bit miniature farm. But with that also said, a lot of this whole farm to fork thing, you've got a lot of people now also having their own gardens. Now you do get wildlife with this, so if you are planning on doing any kind of gardening or anything like that, make sure you put some small fences up and keep some of the critters out of there. And then last but not least, of course, is the schools. Now we're in the San Juan School District. For the most part, San Juan School District, I'll put a link on the bottom there, is rated a 7 out of 10 on any of their school districts out there. There's a couple charter schools out there and a couple private schools, but for the most part, because of the school system and how well it's run, most people just send their kids to the public school system. And that's about all I got for you guys. Orangevale, like I say, just to review, it's one of those places, I think it's a little bit of a secret for most people because they are running around looking in Folsom. They might be looking down into Fair Oaks, even Citrus Heights, like one of our other videos. Citrus Heights has really just become really popular in the last couple years. But Orangevale is one of those places that it's just a little bit of a secret. People don't exactly come in here, or I don't usually start with my clients of saying, hey, we want to go to Orangevale. But once I talk to them and talk to the different areas and price points, I find out real quickly that Orangevale actually might be one of those better spots for them to go out to. So if you guys want more information about Orangevale, even the surrounding areas, let me know, leave me that comment. Make sure that you set up that 15-minute Zoom call with us. We'd love to answer all of your questions. Me and Deborah are on call for you guys all the time. Other than that, hopefully again, you guys got everything you needed out of this video, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Talk to you soon.